What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop, and welcome to what is probably the darkest theory I've ever covered on my channel. As you all should know, we learned about a bunch of beta content from the demo of Pokemon Gold and Silver a couple months ago. However, one of the details from that demo that seems to have been glossed over could very well explain the origins of one of the most mysterious Pokemon of all time and paint one of the darkest pictures that Pokemon has ever seen. Believe it or not, information from the demo paints a shockingly clear picture that the Unown could have been based on the atomic bomb victims from World War II, and the evidence is much more convincing than you might think. Now, I want to mention before we get started that this theory actually comes from an article that was written on thegamer.com, so if you would like to check out the article for yourself, the link to it is credited in the description. With that said though, what could possibly suggest that the Unown are based on the victims of the atomic bomb of all things? Well, the first thing to note here that comes specifically from information we got from the beta is that Johto was originally going to be based on the entirety of Japan as opposed to just the Kansai region of Japan, because these games were originally going to be the final Pokemon games, and as such, Game Freak wanted to make them a whole lot bigger than they actually turned out. Because of this, the map of the Johto region is reworked a lot compared to what it's like in the final game, and the area that looks to be the ruins of Alph is actually positioned perfectly over Nagasaki if you lay it over an actual map of Japan, which is one of the two cities that was bombed by an atomic bomb in World War II. This location is obviously known as the ruins of Alph as well, which obviously fits pretty well with this theory, and if you go into one of the caves of the ruins of Alph in this demo, you can actually see some pictures on the wall that did not appear in the final game. On the wall, there is a picture of two different people, and next to these people are pictures of meteors, whirlpools, and other symbols of destruction. This very clearly could correlate pretty well with the atomic bomb, as it looks like these people are being struck by some sort of disaster in this picture. On top of this, these images did not appear in the final game and were only in the beta replaced with images of the Unown instead. So the idea here is that the Unown could represent the unknown masses that died as a result of the atomic bomb, since hundreds of thousands of people ultimately died as a result of this event. Another thing about the dropping of the atomic bomb that is rather spooky is that due to the radiation of the bomb when it was dropped, objects and people that were outside at the time of the bomb's dropping were actually burned into the ground and the walls of different buildings as shadows, and this actually correlates and could explain why the Unown are also found on the walls in the ruins of Alph. Another mysterious thing about the Unown and the ruins of Alph is the mysterious transmission that is heard on the radio when you enter this location. If you open up the radio app in the Pokegear while you're in the ruins of Alph, you'll actually hear a very strange transmission that sounds very odd and creepy, but can't really be made out exactly what it is. However, going along with this theory, the mysterious transmission actually sounds very similar to that of a Geiger counter, which is a device used to measure radiation in any given area. Take a listen. Now, as far as the victims relating to the Unown directly, it could actually go a couple of different ways. The Unown could simply represent the victims of the atomic bomb and just could be a memory or representation of them, or they actually could be the people themselves, because as we know, people have turned into Pokemon on several other occasions as the result of some traumatic event, which would fit this scenario very well. Now, given all of these details, it's likely that the Unown would have had their storyline fleshed out more in the original game, and we would have found out what the equivalent was in the Pokemon world to this atomic bomb inspiration. However, this story obviously didn't happen, and we were left with the Unown being very, very mysterious Pokemon that almost nobody knows the truth about. So why is that exactly? Well, the first big reason is that when the scope of the game and the direction of the game was changed to what we know today, Johto was actually based on the Kansai region instead of the entirety of Japan. And because the entirety of Japan was no longer the inspiration for this region, they no longer had the correlation between Nagasaki and the ruins of Alph to pull from, since that's obviously not in the Kansai region where the final Johto region takes place. So that reference was removed entirely, which is kind of a big part of this storyline. On top of that, during the development of Gold and Silver, Pokemon was in the middle of becoming a worldwide phenomenon, and as it grew more popular around the world, particularly in North America, Game Freak obviously realized that making this kind of reference in a children's game and making this kind of reference in a globally popular game that is particularly going to be seen a lot in North America would be a very, very risky thing to do and would be a very touchy subject if the truth was found out by the public. So they obviously stripped this potential storyline from the Unown and decided to make them more ambiguous and mysterious, which works really well for them obviously, but it's also a shame if this is the case because the Unown would have been so interesting even if their origins were explained like this. So there we have it, everyone. Now, while this is an extremely dark step for Pokemon to take, even if it didn't make it into the final game, I find it absolutely fascinating and incredible that this very well could be the mystery of the Unown that we have been trying to solve for so long. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like and let me know what you thought of this theory in the comments below. I know it's a bit of a jarring one, so I would really like to get your guys' thoughts on it. Also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload Pokemon content on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday of every week, so there is plenty of stuff to watch. And if you'd like to consider supporting the channel further, please go over to my Patreon and check it out. It only costs $1 a month. That greatly helps the channel and directly supports videos like this. And you get some awesome perks as well, like being able to watch videos early, getting to vote on videos, getting details about the channel and upcoming projects early, and you even get remixes early as well, so there's a ton of stuff there for you guys to enjoy. With all that said though, I will be back with another video on Tuesday, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as it goes live, and with all that said, I will see you then. So until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.